friends, it's Leticia, the designer behind Flowers, Crochet Flowers, the Crochet Flower Group, and the Garden Club, bringing you the very first video in our crochet flower designer journey. This is where your crochet designing journey begins. Now today's video is especially for you if you're on a journey where you want to design your own crochet flowers but feeling a little intimidating. If this sounds anything like you, this is your safe space. Now because you're here watching this video, I think it's safe to say that you've came across an experience at least once where you saw a beautiful flower and thought to yourself, I wish I could create something like that, but it seems so intimidating. Well, I'm here to let you know that I've been there, I've done that, and I've thought the same exact way. The thing is, there's so many amazing patterns out there, but they can actually make you feel less confident. You see these intricate designs and think, I could never do that. But here's the good news. Creating your own crochet flowers is actually achievable. As usual, I always have your back. In this video, I'll guide you through those first steps, helping you knock out intimidation and unlock your creative potential. Feeling inspired? Then grab your favorite pen and a notebook because these tips are too good to forget. Or you can just save the video. It'll be here waiting to inspire your first masterpiece. Let's get into it. We're kicking off our design journey with the most crucial step, inspiration. Forget trying to pull a flower out of thin air. We are diving straight into the real world for our ideas. This is what I call the mood board approach. Don't try to reinvent the wheel right away. Look to the world around you for ideas. Real flowers are an obvious choice and probably the best choice. There is nothing like seeing the real thing. But inspiration isn't limited to just live blossoming flowers. You can also find it in photos, drawings, and even by thinking about the seasons, for instance, summer. This can lead you to look for flowers that are summer blooms, like sunflowers or even the popular beauty dahlias. The most important thing here is to have many sources. Now let's talk about capturing that inspiration. You'll want to create a mood board, whether that be a physical or digital mood board with images that inspire you, images that make you feel motivated. These images should be of your chosen flower in different angles and also different colors if possible. Personally, I don't work from images unless they are absolutely stunning in quality, and I've said this before, but my favorite place to find inspiration is Pinterest. When looking at these images, think about what shapes, colors, and textures you love. Think about these details, but there's no need to try to create from your mind. Trust me, it makes it way more difficult. By using real-world examples, you will have a much better experience. Let's get into step 2. Deconstruct, simplify, and study. I cannot stress this enough. This is what I call the botanical approach. This is where the magic really happens. Don't just look at a flower, really study them. Grab a real flower from your garden, a picture from a book, or even just search for botanical illustrations online. Take a close look at the different parts. The petals, the sepals, those are the little green leaf-like things under the flower, the stem, and also the center. How are the petals shaped? Are they rounded, pointed, ruffled? How are they attached to the stem? What does the center look like? Is it a single pistil? Does it have many stamens? Or a combination of both? Understanding the anatomy of a real flower will give you a much better starting point for designing your crochet version. For example, look at the center of this flower. See how it's made up of lots of tiny individual parts? You could represent that in crochet with a cluster of stitches, or you can keep it simple by using beads. The more you observe, the more ideas you'll get. Don't be afraid to be inspired by other crochet artists like myself. Take a look at a crochet flower you admire. Try to see how the designer translated the real flower into thread. What shapes did they use to represent the petals? How did they create the texture? Breaking down existing crochet flowers into their basic components can be a great learning experience. It's like reverse engineering. You're learning how to translate natural forms into crochet stitches. Now let's talk about step 3. Visualize and build a foundation. Now, instead of sketching, we're going to use our imaginations to create a conceptual blueprint for our flower. This is where we really start to bring our inspiration to life. We're going to think about the flower's basic structures. Think of it as the skeleton of your flower, the core from which everything else will grow. Start by visualizing the overall shape of your flower. Is it round like a daisy, or maybe it's pointed like a tulip? Try to break it down into simple geometric shapes. Think circles, triangles, squares, ovals. These shapes will be your foundation. Let's take a look at this flower as an example. See how the center is a circle and the petals radiate around, forming a larger, slightly rounded shape. We can represent this with a simple circle for the center, and then imagine a series of smaller circles or ovals radiating from the center as the petals. Now close your eyes for a moment if you'd like and really picture your flower. Imagine the size, the shape, the arrangement of the petals. Picture the center and ask yourself, what simple shape can I use to represent these elements? You're building a mental image here, a conceptual blueprint that will guide you as you start to crochet. This visualization process might feel a little hypothetical or non-realistic at first, but it's a powerful tool. It helps you think about the underlying structure of your design even before picking up your crochet hook. And once you have that foundation in place, the rest of the design process will flow much more smoothly. Now, if you have a mind that works in a way where you need to see things on paper, then sketching out the flower is an option for you. This way you can see it in front of you. Step 4. Swatch and experiment. I call this the creative playground. This is where the real fun begins. Grab some thread scraps. No need to use your precious thread for this stage, and start experimenting. Think of this as your creative playground. There are no rules, no right or wrong stitches. Just explore to see what happens, and don't be afraid to bend the crochet rules. I do this all the time. That's my little secret. Try different stitch combinations and see what textures you can create. A simple change in stitches will make a huge difference. We've talked about exploring inspiration, studying our flowers, visualizing our designs, and experimenting with our materials. Now it's time to talk about putting it all together. This is where we truly step into our power as designers. Step 5 is all about starting small, building confidence, and embracing what I call empowered progress. This is where you take ownership of your design journey, recognizing that each step, each stitch is a deliberate choice that empowers you to create. We're not just learning patterns here, we're gaining control of our creative process. Begin by empowering yourself with fundamentals. A simple circle is not just a basic shape. It's a demonstration of your ability to create something from nothing. This is where you establish your foundation, proving to yourself that you have the power to shape your creations. Now, you're experimenting with petals and centers, and you're doing it with intention. You're choosing stitch combinations, colors, and textures that reflect your personal style. You're not just creating, you're expressing yourself, and that's the essence of empowered progress. Now remember, empowered progress isn't about perfection, it's about taking control of your creative journey. Celebrate each accomplishment, learn from each challenge, and recognize that you have the power to create beautiful, unique crochet flowers. Every stitch is a decision, and every decision is a step towards your empowerment. So start small, build confidence, and embrace empowered progress. If you're on your crochet flower designing journey and want to learn more, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where I'll be sharing 5 things that you can master to help your crochet flowers stand out.